Hello, welcome to PC Jack. So a couple of months back, I sold one of my mates a PC. The PC I sold them was the Purple Haze build, which was a Ryzen 5 2600 and MSI RX 5500 XT build. I sold it to them around February, and I had a message the other day to say that the system was no longer displaying anything. They said they were playing a game and then they had a green screen and the system shut down, and they tried to boot it back up and have been greeted by nothing but a black screen and can't even get into the BIOS. So today I went over and had a little look to see if I could troubleshoot it, and I swapped in a different card and the system booted up straight away. And then I swapped the 5500 XT back in and the same result, no display whatsoever. I had a look at the rest of the system and nothing seemed out of the ordinary, so it looks like this guy is toast. So while it's a shame that it appears their graphics card has now died on them at possibly the worst time when it's so difficult to get your own graphics card nowadays, this graphics card is still under warranty though, so I've agreed to try and go for the RMA process to get this card either repaired or replaced. And what I thought I'd do was review the actual RMA process through MSI. So I'm hoping they should be able to figure out what's wrong with this card, or potentially replace it, but I would be much more surprised if they actually replace this with a brand new card. So today is the 19th of September, I'm about to start the RMA process, and we'll see where it takes us. Okay, so we're on MSI's website, so we're going to have to go through the RMA procedure. So if we take a look, to begin the processing of applying online RMA procedure, please click here to sign into MSI Member Center. Okay, I don't know if I am a member. Okay, so I'm logged in, so I'm assuming I'm going to have to register the graphics card as a product on my account. Success, there we go. Right, so we'll go through next. Here we go, manage. Okay, we've got to go for apply for service. So I've gone through the whole RMA form and I've given them the information about what is actually happening with the graphics card and the issue it has. And they wanted a photo of the failure symptom. I just took a picture of it. They're not going to be able to see anything from a graphics card in a system. So let's just confirm and agree with this. The product you entered does not meet the application. Yeah, so it says this product is not applicable to this service. Okay, so I finally managed to get through to where I can submit a web ticket, and I basically include the same information from that. So we're going to try and submit that, see how it goes. So, it's now the next day, Monday 20th of September. There's been some interesting developments, and it seems we've reached a conclusion which has some good news and some bad news. But first, let me go through everything that's happened today. So I received a response to my web ticket, to which MSI responded with, "Thank you for contacting us. If the unit seems faulty and needs to be examined further by a technician, please return the product to us through the distributor. The distributor is an important part of the RMA process, therefore we cannot process products directly in RMA. All warranty responsibilities for computer components are given only to the distributor, which means for end users that warranty repair requests must be made to the shop where the unit was bought. The retailer or reseller is obligated by the consumer law to provide support for any MSI components that they sold. Please contact your shop directly and make a repair request with them." So, for a start, MSI seem really quick in passing off any responsibility for their own products down to the distributor. However, I do understand that the best process would be to follow up with the distributor first before going higher up the chain. But this graphics card was bought through Amazon, and because this has been several months since I actually purchased it, that 30-day return window that Amazon offers is completely closed. Still, I thought I'd try Amazon anyway, and I went through their customer support and had the following conversation. I explained that I ordered the product through themselves several months ago, and the issues the card has, and the manufacturer MSI who advised me to redirect my query to them in order to return the product to the manufacturer. They asked whether the manufacturer had provided any troubleshooting steps, which they did not. As a side note, would have been pretty useful if MSI provided some troubleshooting steps in order to preempt any false concerns and avoid having to resort to a return. As I explained previously, I already fully troubleshooted the system with the graphics card as I normally would, but still, it'd be useful to provide the consumer with even some basic steps to troubleshoot their system. Amazon then explained that the product came from a third-party seller named Real-Time Distribution and that I would need to contact them in order to request assistance. Now, so far, we've been passed from MSI to Amazon and now to a third-party seller, which is not really ideal as there's so many links in this chain. But anyway, I redirected my query instead to the third-party seller as advised. They then responded with the following. "Thank you for your email and please accept our apologies for this situation. Your order was actually fulfilled by Amazon. They shipped it on our behalf from one of their warehouses. So as such, you will need to contact Amazon customer services directly and they will be able to help you out. I then explained that I had already contacted Amazon in regards to this issue, and then they responded with this next. Unfortunately, replacements are not available. As such, you must contact Amazon. They will arrange a return. Now at this point, it was looking pretty slim on the chance that anyone would even take a look at the graphics card. And I'm still surprised that at no point there seems to be any action to follow up with MSI directly. So, in a last ditch effort, I decided to respond to MSI's initial response. I explained that the distributor will not accept a return on the item and is not offering a repair or replacement for the defective graphics card. Please could you advise further on how to resolve the issue? And they then concluded our query with this. In order to send the unit for a repair to our service centre, please proceed with your shop directly. There is no direct warranty support from MSI for end users who have purchased our components. The RMA process for components requires the distributor to send the faulty units to the manufacturer. Now again, going back to what I explained about it making sense to go back through the chain to Amazon, at no point has there been any mention about getting the item sent from the distributor to MSI directly in order to resolve the issue. But more importantly, if as MSI explained, the RMA process for components requires the distributor to send the faulty units to the manufacturer, then what is the point of their RMA request form on their website? To me that's just bewildering and is the most confusing part about this whole situation. So with the confirmation that MSI will take no liability whatsoever on this issue, I finally turned back to Amazon and explained everything that had transpired since they redirected me to the third party seller earlier on. And finally, we then reached the resolution to this whole inquiry. Amazon has now agreed to refund the graphics card, despite being outside of the 30-day return window. But there will be no refund or replacement offered, which is what we were hoping for in the beginning. So the good news in this situation is that at least my friend will be reimbursed for the loss of his graphics card, and be able to put the money towards a replacement. But the bad news is that this obviously leaves them without a graphics card in what is probably one of the biggest GPU shortages in recent memory. I am going to keep my eyes peeled for them though and look out for a replacement, but obviously this may take some time. So for now, I've just lent them a GT 710 in order to have a functional system. Obviously not the best for gaming, but at least they can actually use the system. In conclusion though, through this process, I've discovered as a consumer that MSI's RMA service is just really confusing. Despite having an RMA request form on their website, it doesn't work, and they instead require you to go through the distributor in order to process anything to go towards MSI. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to oblige and follow the appropriate steps, but with the back and forth between different parties, it makes me think there's very little liability on MSI's side, which as a consumer who's looking for a resolution, needs to find out how to actually get there in the first place. And looking through Reddit and various forums, it doesn't seem that MSI are highly regarded at all when it comes to their RMA service, which is obviously not going to come as a surprise. On a positive note though, I do have to commend on MSI's time it took for them to respond to my query, even if our correspondence was pretty brief. I emailed them on a Sunday, which is obviously not a working day, but at least I had a response within 24 hours on the following Monday. However, the reason for the quick resolution for the whole situation is on Amazon's behalf, and not on MSI or the third party seller. Maybe I'm too ill-informed to be commenting on this, but as an enthusiast and a consumer, my overall conclusion is that the whole process needs to be much more simple for the buyer, and allow them to reach a much more appropriate resolution in a more streamlined manner, and not through constant back and forth between different parties, and not taking responsibility for your own product. So, that's it for today's video. Bit of a different one, but I thought it'd be interesting to show the process. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, or if you've had any similar experiences with different manufacturers. If you enjoyed this video, then please feel free to like and subscribe for more videos on the way soon. Thank you. I'll see you next time.